Hello there. Good evening from here. Good afternoon. And I think it's afternoon in Nigeria right now, right?
I think it's evening here in Nigeria.
Okay, good evening from Nigeria or in Nigeria. In the US, it will be in the morning, or maybe they'll be getting close to noon now. My name is Paul, and you're welcome to Opinion Sharer. It's been a while that we've been on this show. I've been busy, and Michael has been busy, and most of our guests, the regular guests, are also busy uh, in various parts of the world. So today, we're going to be looking at the state of the nation, and it's an opportunity for Michael, after so many, months away, to share his opinion regarding a couple of, a number of issues that is happening in Nigeria lately. So please, you're welcome to the platform. Do share the link, please. It is important that we share the link so that we can, invite people to come and share with us. And you can also participate by sharing your opinion and dropping comments or questions in the comment section, and then we'll be looking at it together. Thank you so much, Michael. How are you?
Good evening. It's nice engaging the platform again after a while.
Yeah,
so it's nice
being
being here.
Time.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, please, if you're just joining us, do share the link, please. Michael, do share it if you can reach the link there.
Okay.
Please do share it so that we can invite people. We are going to begin in a few seconds from now, but let's quickly share it so that we can invite more people who might be interested in what we are going to be discussing. Do you want me to share the link with you, or you can find it there?
I can share from your wall now, I guess, from your timeline.
Okay, let me share it. Okay, now it's on my timeline. If you go to my timeline, you'll be able to see it there.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I think I can do that thereafter because it will hibernate my phone now. So just let us. Yeah, I'm not using my system.
Okay. All right. Now, do you want to, quickly introduce yourself, just in case there are newcomers on this platform who may not have been used to you? So just take a few seconds to tell us about yourself.
Yeah, thank you, viewers out there. I'm Olaogun Michael Sukomi by name. Let me say, I'm just all in one. I'm a writer, I'm a researcher, I'm a policy analyst, I'm a public affairs analyst, and of course, I'm a very responsible citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
A very, very responsible one at that. All right, Michael, since you've not been here since NSAS happened, so I want to give you an opportunity to give your opinion about, what happened during the NSAS, the outcome and the implication, and perhaps way forward.
Yeah, thank you so much. The NSAS is such a one that I think the nation is yet to recover from. And as a person, I don't pray that Nigeria as a nation recovers from that. And what do I mean by that? I think this will be the very first time in my entire life. I think I've spent well over 2.5 decades in this country. After my birth, and I think I've never at any time seen any organized cluster of young people like we had during the NSAS protest. And of course, perhaps we are still having, because a couple of days ago, I read in the news or on the social media that a set of young people are regrouping themselves again for the second wave of the NSAS protest. But summarily, I think this is a pointer to the fact that the young people in the nation, those who understand how nations should be built, I think this is a time for them demanding for a better nationhood where we all belongs, because of the fact we have seen the challenges over the years, and I think there is no better time than now for us to wake up from our slumber and ask for a better nation, a nation where things are working. And it's a message to the political class, not just the political class alone. Of course, they are the cause of the problems we are talking about. But I think the sense of the demand for accountability from the citizen at this time is equally very important. So it came with the face of NSAS, but underneath behind the face, there are other elements involved. We demand for responsible leadership. Protesters demanded for, of course, let me say, are demanding because of the said ongoing second wave of the NSAS protest. They are demanding for, workable institutions that are working for the citizens and not for the political class. And of course, we're demanding, let me just say, the entire overhaul of the system in Nigeria. I think that's just the summary of the NSAS protest. And I think we should just continue to demand for a better society. And that is one of the very unique thing about democracy. The demand for accountability on the part of the citizen is what should not be jettisoned at any time. So I think the citizens are doing well. However, it is very important that we condemn the barbaric act that took place during the NSAS protest. I mean, the destruction of properties, privately owned properties, public institutions. Of course, we know this act should be condemned. Is not something that should be encouraged, because if we are fighting that things are not working in the nation and we are still burning down the institutions of government, it is still those that we think are not serving us enough that we still build these institutions. And of course, we know what it means when we say government is building something or government is fixing a problem. You and I understand what is happening in the background. Thank you so much.
Okay, Michael. When the NSAS protest was hot, we discussed it on this platform, and at some point we had Oluwatosin here, and Oluwatosin would probably have a different opinion, especially when it comes to the looting. And at some point also, I began to look at the fact that some of the guys who are looting or who were involved in looting, they are also Nigerians. And we must not forget the fact that something that belongs to them was hidden away from them. All right. And then they, kind of find a way to discover it. And I said, even on this platform, that it shouldn't be enough reason for the destruction of properties and all of that. In fact, the looting of palliative was not something that I did not support. But at the same time, I want to also come to the reality that this is the Nigeria that we have created for ourselves. And in all of this, you see the hands of the leaders, the so-called leaders, in all of the destruction that you see in Nigeria. So blaming the people that actually destroy properties or people that looted those things, I think it's something that I am cautious about, because I think the greatest looters, the greatest destroyers of properties in Nigeria are the people that we call leaders today, or maybe even in the past. So anyway, that's about that, Michael. I want you to comment on the fact that there is still police brutality. There was one that was there was a video or picture that was circulating on the internet a few days ago. It was too gruesome. I couldn't even look. That police shot somebody, I think in Port Harcourt or somewhere like that. So despite the massive protests, there is still police brutality. What do you think?
Well, I think it is important for us to understand at this point that in every human society, we always have the good, the bad, and the ugly. And what we are seeing in the police formation over the years, I think does not dispute the fact that we still have the good ones. The good elements in the police formation. But it is very important to also state that the institutional failure over the years is what has landed us into where we are as a nation. Now, some couple of weeks ago, we were fighting all because of NSAS protests, talking about police brutality. And of course, still, the same police that we are trying to, should I say, discourage the acts, the bad habits they normally unleash on citizens, are still the ones, of course, unleashing mayhem on fellow citizens. Because the only thing that differentiates myself and ordinary and a policeman is just the uniform. I'm not a uniform person. But we must also acknowledge the fact that the leadership style of the nation over the years is what has brought us to this particular stage. When the element of meritocracy is removed in the recruitment process into any organization, whether private, whether government institution, we should not expect anything better than we are seeing at the moment. The element of ethnicity, the element of religion, and of course, the element of passion. You know what I'm passionate about. I'm a writer. I'm a commentator. You know all this. So if the passion is not is not a driving force for me for any career path that I want to follow, then something would definitely be wrong along the line. So what I'm trying to say in essence is this. We have a whole lot of people that are within the security formations, not just the police alone now, that the level of unemployment in the country has actually pushed them to that particular sector. Not because these people are capable enough, not because these people are competent enough, but because of the reality of the nation. Things that is affecting us as a people. Unemployment that I stated is what has brought up all of this. So when you see a policeman that is poorly trained as well, we shouldn't expect anything better. Things like this will always happen. So I think we should still continue to render our opinion. We should continue to speak with community voice in condemning all these dastard acts from our security operatives, so that the lives of citizens they are engaged, they are employed to protect, will not be the ones that will always suffer. Particularly the responsible citizens, the law-abiding citizens, they wouldn't be the one that will be suffering, should I say, accidental discharge or intentional discharge of bullets. Because the one that happened in River State, the Keke Napep guy, were made to understand that it's as a result of him not giving the police officer 100 naira. That was why he deserved a bullet. This is condemnable in its entirety. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. It's quite unfortunate, like the keke or tricycle driver had to lose his life just because he did not pay bribe to somebody who is paid to protect him, somebody who is paid to ensure that that tricycle driver does not lose his life. But then you mentioned the issue of passion. The topic of patriotism. For instance, people that are going to forces should be the most patriotic people or the patriotic citizens in every countries of the world that I have seen or read about. But in Nigeria, I was reading from, I think, Twitter earlier today in the morning, where the Navy, I learned that the Navy put out a notification that maybe 49 or a particular number of its staffs, they abandoned their duty posts and ran away abroad. Okay, so and some people were now commenting about patriotism, that if these people are patriotic, that they wouldn't have abandoned their ship and run away somewhere in Europe. And another person now tweeted as a comment, saying that how many people in Nigerian army or in Nigerian police or in the Navy force, how many of them actually joined the force because they are patriotic? How many of the Nigerian politicians today politicians because they are really passionate about building country, or that they are really patriotic citizens of the country. If people like Buhari, and I'm not sorry to say it, if Buhari is a patriotic Nigerian, he shouldn't be the president of Nigeria today. He wouldn't even contest. He would have resigned. He would have retired. He would have been, be in a position as an elder statesman to only offer advice, because he certainly cannot deliver. Anyway, I am not the I am not the one to make comments. I'm to ask questions. So I will go to the next question, Michael. The issue of security or insecurity in Nigeria in the past few weeks has been alarming. What's your take on these things?
Well, the state of the nation in terms of security calls for great concern from all. But I think the constitutional mandate of any government, first responsibility, constitutional responsibility of any government, is to protect the lives and properties in any nation, most especially as stipulated in our own constitution here in Nigeria. But over the months, let me say over the years, because we need to be very objective as well. Insecurity is just like is a global challenge. But I think the one in Nigeria is operating on what I call, should I say, industrial scale now, because when we look at some reports flying in and out through the media, we just sometimes is surprised that what actually is happening in this nation. What is happening? Do we have security operatives at all? However, we need to commend the effort of those that are keeping watch over this nation, particularly those that are committed to the cause of this nation, those that are losing their lives on daily basis. It's not easy working in any of the security, most especially our brothers and sisters working in the northeastern part of the country at the moment. There are so many things they face that, of course, is untold. I was watching journalist hangout some days ago where Babajide Kolade Otitoji was telling us about a video he received from one of the theater. I mean, in Northeast, in Borno State to be precise, on how the insurgents unleashed mayhem on our military. I was just imagining that in my mind. Be that as it may, I think there's no need to there's no need to beat around the bush. It is the duty of government. It is the responsibility of government, and that is why almost on daily basis, the people, even the parliamentarians, our legislators at the National Assembly, they are demanding that the Buhari should actually bid farewell to the service chiefs, because they are probably not performing to the expectations of the citizens anymore in terms of protecting the lives and properties. And when we look at the situation on a very holistic view as well, the population of the security formation, the entire security formation of this nation is far insignificant compared to the entire population of the country. For example, I think we have maybe between 300 to 400,000 policemen in this nation. And of course, the entire security, military, put together the army, the navy, and the air force, maybe about 2 to 250,000. 250,000, if I am correct. Now, let us look at this ratio. Of course, they may have the zeal, but we know that they are overstretched. They can't perform because the population of the entire country is far more than the population of all the security formations put together. What I'm saying in essence is this: there is need to actually review the security structure of this nation in terms of engaging more hands into the military, into the police formation, and of course other sister security agencies of government, because we can't continue to deceive ourselves. And of course, in terms of funding, procurement of arms, and I think I was reading or listening to the television, some days ago, the type of weapons that some of these bandits in the northwest and of course the insurgents are using in the northeast we made to understand that even our military personnel does not even have some of this. So it is very difficult for them to actually fight the security challenge or the challenges we are facing in the nation. Just some days ago, we heard about what happened in Abuja Kaduna Expressway. That zone, that particular road, is more like a very habitable place for kidnappers to now operate, perhaps if not on daily basis or on weekly basis. They just feel like they are unchecked. So what I'm saying in essence is this: the government should wake up from a slumber. And I think that was what led to the invitation of the president to the National Assembly some days ago, or about last week, which he was supposed to appear at the National Assembly yesterday, which was Thursday, but unfortunately he wasn't present, just for him to brief, because he's the one coordinating, being the commander-in-chief. The military, they are within his purview. Police are within the police coordination within his purview, and of course other sister security agencies of government. Just for him to come to the National Assembly to bring the parliament what he's doing about fixing the security challenge we are facing in this nation. Now we are entering the festive period, the yellow tide season. I'm just imagining in my heart, for those who are always good at making other people cry, how they are likely to actually take advantage of this period in unleashing mayhem on citizens. Just some days ago, I spoke with a neighbor, a friend of mine in Kwara State, who told me how houses are being burgled over there. So this calls for great concern. You cannot even sleep with your two eyes closed, even to travel in any of our highways in this country becomes a problem, because you can't predict what will actually happen. So I think it calls for serious concern from across all levels of government, whether at the national, at the state, and of course the local. And I think I love the position of the traditional institutions of recent, particularly that of the Sultan of Sokoto, who is coming out to even tell us that the north is no longer secured. And of course, in addition to what His Eminence said, it's not just the north alone. The entire security is actually not secured. Ekiti State, our state some days ago or some weeks ago, were made to understand that an expert, a Chinese expert, was kidnapped along maybe Ado Ilawe or certain road. I can't actually get the road precisely now. So it's happening across the states in the nation, or across the nations. So we need to wake up and ask for better security system in this nation. Thank you.
Okay, Michael, we've heard about Boko Haram. Now we are hearing bandits again. I want to ask you, since you are in Abuja, maybe people in Abuja probably know better than those of us who are online. What is the difference between Boko Haram and bandits? Because now you said it is believed that these bandits are so powerful that they can, they are even kidnapping politicians in the northeast, or in the north generally. What is the difference between the bandits and Boko Haram? Or is it that the government is just trying to, so that people will not say they've been paying ransom? People have been paying ransom and they've been negotiating with Boko Haram, so they just substitute the name Boko Haram, bandits, for Boko Haram.
Well, I know that I'm not privy to intelligence reports of the nation, but one thing is very important for us to understand, that whether it is bandits, whether it is insurgents, whether kidnappers, or just mention whatever they may be called, insecurity is insecurity. Even those that engages in burglary, excuse me, is all our insecurity. But one thing we should not underestimate at all is that it is a demand. I mean, it is a constitutional role of government to protect our lives, to protect our properties. So as to if it is Boko Haram that is metamorphosizing into bandits, or bandits metamorphosizing into insurgents, I think two of them are posing great threat to the stability of this nation, the security, the security of the citizens of this nation. And I think we should not at any time keep quiet about this. We should continue to, should I say, encourage now? Well, perhaps if it goes well, but we should continue to talk. We should not keep quiet, because no one knows what will happen tomorrow. No one can predict. We have seen, so I think some weeks ago, one APC chairman in maybe in Nasarawa State was killed. So this calls for concern. And when we look at this thing holistically, you and I, of course, you are not in the country. We are the ones plying the road. The political, the elites, they fly in the air. So it is our responsibility now to continue to ask that, please secure our lives. We have no other place to go. There's no other roads to fly. How many of us can even afford to fly in the air? If you want to travel to Lagos now from Abuja, I think it's well almost or above 100,000 naira. How many Nigerians can afford that? So we need to ask for more. We need to demand from the government that no, our lives and properties should be secured.
Okay, Michael, thank you. You see, the reason why I think I wanted to clarify the difference, even though I know that you may not be in the position to explain the difference between Boko Haram and bandits, is that from the way they are, they are presenting the bandits to us, it's as if the bandits are guys who just kidnap people or they want to steal, and they need money. Their target is money. Whereby Boko Haram is, we know that it's something that it's crime that is as a result of an ideology. And so that's why it is important to actually distinguish between the bandits and Boko Haram, because some people might just want to say, okay, because you are stealing, I mean, because you are not obeying Sharia, they can cut your head. All right. So we know that one for Boko Haram. But then, what is the assurance? My concern is that we cannot actually distinguish between bandits and Boko Haram from the way things are in Nigeria. It is Buhari's government. It is Buhari's government, and I stand to be corrected. It is Buhari's government that actually is trying to distinguish between Boko Haram and bandits. But the truth is that they are all committing heinous crimes, especially in the north there. So I don't even know the reason why we should distinguish them. And you see, there have been discussion, there have been governors who are taking pictures even with so-called, repentant bandits. And anyway, now, do you think Buhari is supposed to be summoned by the National Assembly? And do you think he would, maybe change his mind and come?
Well, as to the visit of the president to the National Assembly, based on what the speaker, that's Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, made us understand via the media, that the president already obliged that he was going to visit the National Assembly to brief them on the state of security of the nation, because I think the legislators demanded that the president should come to brief them on what the government is doing in securing the lives of Nigerians. So I think it was more of a surprise when the date was fixed. I think that was yesterday, the 10th of December 2020, that the president was going to appear at the National Assembly. And we've seen the uproar in the media that it has generated. I mean, the absence of the president. Well, to me as a person, I'm not a lawyer, and I'm hoping to be one. But looking at this matter from constitutional angle may not, to the best of my knowledge, be the best approach. How do I mean? We've seen legal luminaries from the side of the government, as the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, stating that the National Assembly does not have the constitutional right or power to invite the president to the National Assembly. And of course, other legal luminaries and the likes of Femi Falana stating that, of course, quoting different sections of the Constitution, that the president can be summoned by the National Assembly. Good. They are all entitled to their own opinion, and I think it is important that I state my own opinion as well. In administration, there's something we call the discretionary power. And when we talk of discretionary power, sometimes we set aside law in handling some of this situation. How do I mean? Let's take there's a rule governing this establishment, maybe a company. If we always want to follow rules in doing things, most especially when urgency is needed, or let me say urgent attention is needed in solving certain problems, some things may be delayed. And that is one of the problems we are facing in this nation: retipism, bureaucratic challenges. You see files staying longer on the table of one director, PAMSEC, waiting to be attended to for days, for weeks, and sometimes even months. Well, that is not where I'm going specifically. So I think for the parliamentarians, the legislators, to have demanded that the president should come to brief them of the state of the security of the nation, I think Nigerians in microcosm, because we voted them, quote and unquote, to represent us at the National Assembly. It's more as if Nigerians are telling the president, Mr. President, we need you to talk to us on the state of the security of this nation, not necessarily quoting any section of the Constitution. Now, because lives and properties are being lost on daily basis. Citizens are dying just like fowl. So I think beyond the constitutional, I think the discretionary approach should have been adopted in actually addressing the nation. But as to why the president did not go to the National Assembly, I can't state categorically. Perhaps his spokesperson will do that for him. But I think it would have been, shall I say, better if the citizens could get the first-hand information from the number one citizen of the nation as to what is doing in securing the lives and properties of these of citizens of this nation, most especially in a critical time as this. Thank you.
Michael, thank you very much. Do you think President Buhari, judging by his body language, do you think he believes Nigerians deserve explanation? Do you think he feels like he owes an explanation regarding whether about insecurity? Even during the answers, he had to be implored, he had to be begged, even before he could say something. So, I think I don't think the old man thinks he owes us an explanation.
Well, I am not in a position to state that, because he knows his own mind. I cannot examine his mind. But I think in any democracy, the voice of the people is is a factor that should be reckoned with in any democracy. So for citizens, and I stated earlier, the legislators, they are Nigerians in microcosm. Across religious divides, ethnic divides, they are there at the National Assembly representing you and I. So they are the ones that call for him that he should come. But I cannot say that the president as a person is I think him coming or addressing us, or him I'm trying to get the language you used, like
I said Buhari does not look like somebody who feels like he owes explanation.
Him looking like somebody that owes us explanation. Well, I think his image makers will better speak to that direction more than myself. But as a citizen, I think it is very important for any leader, whether at the national level, at the state level, at the local level, to always interface, to always meet with the citizens. And of course, we know the role the media is playing. The president does not necessarily need to, should I say, call for people to come around this and that. You can leverage the social media in telling us what you are doing, so that people will not, should I say, unnecessarily raise their attention or raise their mind as to if the president is not talking enough, as to if he's not addressing the nation enough. But we must not underestimate the fact that people are the determinant factor in any democracy, and not the elected ones, not the elected representatives. Whatever the people desires at any time should be what the political leaders, the political elites, the electorates should be willing to do at any time. But I think we are still coming out of our, let me say, we are improving in our own, should I say we're improving? Well, our own democracy, let me state it this way. Our own democracy is such a funny one that, of course, the political elites dictate the tone and not the people.
Yeah, unfortunately. Anyway, let's go to another topic. And this one, this is something that that I hold dear to me personally, because it concerns Omoyele Sowore, and this is not just because it is Sowore, it's because it is injustice. And anything that has to do with injustices, whether in Nigeria or around the world, is something that that matters to me. So this one matters to me very well. If I slap you, if we're in Nigeria, if I slap you, can I be? Would you said you are hoping to be a lawyer. Would you advise me to go to the court that I will get justice with the kind of justice system that we have in Nigeria?
Well, let us wait till I possibly become a lawyer. But speaking from a very critical point of view, in a nation as ours, if you slap me, you are not a common man like myself. Maybe you are a political associate to one of the politicians. You are the son of one honorable or senator. With the type of justice system that this nation operates, I think I just rather pray, let me use that word, that vengeance will visit you rather than me going to court, because it may just be effort in futility. I'm one of those that actually at any time, let me say, to an extent, to a very significant extent, I don't believe in the type of justice system we operate. And of course, that is likely going to be the view of majority of Nigerians, because of the things, the way things are being run in this country, most especially as it relates to our justice system.
Okay, Michael, it's been probably going to a year now that Sowore has been, in the chain of the Buhari government. Do you think it should be hopeful, or that Nigerians or young Nigerians who might want to challenge the government, do you think there is hope?
Challenging the government, of course. In any democracy, human rights is a very cardinal factor. I mean, human rights is one of the very strong components of democracy. But our own style of democracy that we practice here is very militaristic in nature. So I coined it in such a way that I call it milito democracy. Because beyond what we can see, even the characters that are occupying the justice system, are they not militaristic in nature? Are they actually doing the bidding of the people? Are they actually doing what is meant to be? Because it's quite obvious that they do the biddings of the political office holders. They do the biddings of the paymaster, which ordinarily is not meant to be. And that is why I at the time I was thinking, why is it that the autonomous nature that the judiciary is meant to enjoy, that they are not being given, most especially in terms of money? And I came to realize that, of course, if you want to manipulate any man, don't give him food. At any time you want to give him food, you can control any of his decisions or perhaps desire. So that's my analogy best describes what is happening in the judicial system of this nation. And when we look at the elements, of course, we should not also forget the fact that there are good ones working within the justice system of this nation, but they are so infinitesimal in number compared to other category of people. So when we look at the situation in a very holistic view, I think our justice system is very weak, that cannot even confront or address the challenges that we are facing as a nation. So that's just my perception.
Well, it's kind of unfortunate because when you look at a few days ago, somebody sent me an article about how Awolowo was imprisoned during Zik and Balewa, all right, and then he was imprisoned, and I think there was a message to Awo's wife that should come and beg the government, so that they will free his husband. And Awo was quoted to have said he has not committed any offense, so why should his wife beg? And meanwhile, I think he was being charged for treason, just like Omoyele Sowore is being charged for treason right now. And then when you now look at it, it's like from time immemorial, Nigeria has been a society where there is no justice. Look at people like what is his name now? This environmentalist that was killed. Ken. Yeah, look at those people killed just for nothing, and there has not been any sitting. There has not been any sitting to say, this man, you have done him wrong, or to even to prosecute the government or whoever, those people that make such a wrong decision, so that we can lay a good foundation. Or are we ever going to get to the level in Nigeria where we will lay a good foundation, a solid foundation for the generations to come? Because what we do now is not going to affect this generation. I mean, some of these things happened when you and I were probably, maybe they've not even given birth to you then. Or maybe when I was a child. Buhari, for instance, was a military head of state when I was very young, when I was a child. Now he's president again. So injustice is like it has been with us all the while. We have gotten used to it. We have accepted it. Okay? You see, all this thing that's happening, they've been using our justices and judicial system. They've been using it. Let's even forget about politicians, because judges they are career people. These are people that serve for at least maybe 20, 30, 40 years. They are like the permanent secretaries in the ministries. So it's like, where is it in Nigeria? Which sector of that economy that is not even corrupt?
There is practically none. And I'm talking from a very practical point of view. Even when we look at the academic, the education industry, the corruption is there. Go to the civil service, corruption is there. Go to in the community of politicians, you will see corruption. But if I understand your standpoint and your should I say expression very well, you are just like,
frustration.
Your frustration. Yeah. You are just like, when will this nation work? I love to always use the expression of Bishop Matthew Wazankuka that says that as a Christian, the only commodity we have is hope. I am one of those who believe that, of course, any society can work when the elements of when human element are willing to make it work. And for example, we have seen nations that does not even have let me say resources, that are not as blessed in terms of earth resources as ours, that are thriving well, that are doing better today. South Korea, South Korea, Singapore, Malaysia. These are countries that they have stopped being a grant receiving nation. But funny enough, when we look at this whole thing holistically, It boils down to the justice system as well, to a very large extent. Because for those that have committed crime, what I call the crime against humanity in terms of corruption, abuse of public office, I see that as crime against humanity. In the past, if they have been decisively dealt with, maybe jailed, and maybe before the UN convention that does not support the killing, I mean, what do you call it now? Should I say there's one term they normally call it. I think it would have served as deterrent for people who may want to at any time do something funny. Yesterday or 2 days ago, we saw that the former Pencon chairman, Mena, fainted in the court. And we can now see this as a trend. The NDDC guy fainted some weeks ago or some months ago. We have seen politicians, Olisa Metu fainted. We can mention them on and on and on and on and on. They are just doing this just to create or generate public sympathy. But that, to me, is a crocodile.
The NDDC guy that fainted, has he been prosecuted?
Prosecuted in a nation as this? No, he hasn't. And that tells us that those funny scenarios will continue to happen. We have had of that of former EFC, the suspended EFCC chairman Ibrahim Magu, as alleged also to have, to have actually manipulated or abused the public funds. So what I'm saying in essence is this: that we'll continue to suffer the consequences of this set of people if the right judicial system is not in place. And I'll continue to say it, that Nigeria may just continue to be a laughing stock for other nations if we don't wake up from our slumber. Enough of us calling ourselves the giant of Africa. Of course, we may be giants, but at this point in time, with the way things have been managed,
we have now is just population.
We are crippled.
Even our resources.
Just today, I was discussing with someone in the conference about how blessed Nigeria is. And in terms of geographical positioning, I think Nigeria is blessed. There are factors that determines the wealth of a nation. We are talking of, when we talk of population, is a factor. When we talk of geographical positioning, is a factor. Most especially that of geographical positioning, we are blessed. And you'll be surprised at how research has shown, that countries that are surrounded by oceans, they are more prosperous than those that are landlocked. But what can we say about our own situation in Nigeria? Things are just inversely. Things are just happening like in a manner that sometimes we cannot even comprehend anymore. And this boils down to leadership. We just need to wake up. And I hope that one day Nigeria will be blessed with people that will be willing to turn around the fortune of these nations. And let me state this again for reference purpose. And of course, I don't think it's something that is strange. If at any time you desire to do something good, to live above board, just see yourself as a threat to those that are profiteering from the misfortune of this nation. Because attempt for you to do good, if they don't kill you, they may even do something funny to you that one may not be useful for himself, or they may just do some gang of stories against you just to ensure that one's image is tarnished. So that's why sometimes I even ask myself that I just feel like what can we just be proud of? I do ask myself, what can we just be proud of in this nation? Nothing seems to be working, but I hope that things will get better if we can have the opportunity. Don't let me say we have. If we can struggle to actually get the opportunity to turn things around.
Well, Michael, thank you very much. Finally, we are going to talk about the economy briefly before we close. You know, justice system in every country is actually key to its economy and in terms of attracting foreign investment or investors, for instance. Now, Nigeria is a country whereby if you have bought something from me, or maybe there is an agreement, a contract agreement that has gone south between two people, we cannot go to the court and then get justice. So, and we know that our economy is probably suffering from that. Now, the dollar, I think, is gone so far above, almost above what an average Nigerian can afford. Yet, some people are using bag to carry cash out of Nigeria. I saw a news earlier today that a Nigerian was arrested in Kenya on his way to Dubai with boxes full of cash. You know, I think 454 million naira when you convert it. That's just one person. So what's your opinion regarding the economy in Nigeria, the position or the state of economy in Nigeria?
Well, before I go into that, I think we need to state that the economic situation, the challenge, is not something limited to that of Nigeria alone. It's more like a global thing as a result of the pandemic. But Nigeria's own is quite funny because let us ask ourselves the question that the handlers of the economy, are they actually handling it well? If the economy is being properly handled, I think the type of economic mess we have found ourselves will not be in it at this particular time. How do I mean? When we examine the class, the caliber of people that are said to be managing the economy of this nation, how do they actually get there? Are they the competent ones? Are they not? Were they not brought in as a result of political affiliation? Were they not brought in as a result of one thing or the other because you have worked for one person or the other? None, of course. It's obvious. And we can't be doing same thing, same way and expect different results. It is practically impossible. But our own situation is funny also because we are not futuristic in our plan. Whatever we have, we just feel like, okay, let's finish it up today. Whatever the consequences may be tomorrow, nobody cares. And that is why it is not a cause. My own children are likely to pay for the debt that this nation is owing at this particular time because things are not working as it were. Things are not working as it's meant to be. And let's take, for example, we call ourselves Nigeria is a monoproduct economy to a very large extent, though some political elements want to argue that we have diversified our economy. Well, and everybody is entitled to their own opinion. That is not for me to contest. But we know the implication. At any time that the price of oil crashes in the international market, we know the implication on us. So what I'm saying is this. What happened to other resources that we have in this nation? Must we always depend on oil? We have heard of what is happening in Zamfara state, the Zamfara gold that is being extracted and of course being exported out of this nation. If government is committed to turning around the fortune of this nation, will not be, even if there is global oil crisis, there will always be a substitute. There will always be a remedy. And I'm sure that Zamfara state is not the only state in Nigeria that is blessed with gold. And when we look at it as well, now they are talking about, the governors forum are talking about borrowing certain trillion from the from pension scheme. Now, those that are within the civil service are likely to bite their fingers in the next couple of years. Maybe when they don't,
they should not touch it.
Pardon?
I said I have money there. They should not touch it.
You have money there, of course. They should not touch it. Well, that's the point. So people like you and others out there are likely to suffer the consequences. So the question I'm asking is this: must we always, I mean, why are we not always proactive in nature? Why are we not always prepared? Anything can happen at any time. Any nation is bound to be faced with economic crisis. But when there's high level of preparedness, there's proactiveness, there will be limits to which the nation will be adversely affected by unforeseen contingency. Now, the state governors will always run to Abuja on monthly basis for allocation. Now, if there is any shift, like Niger State now, I think they want to start, or perhaps they've started slashing the salaries of state workers again, and that may actually follow suit. It may also take that approach also from other state governors. What I'm saying in essence is this: there's need for us to wake up. And corruption, as we have always said it, is a factor that is killing on us in this nation. And just as President Buhari said this some times ago, that if we don't kill corruption, corruption will kill us. Well, I think what he intended to fight is now killing us, because we have seen people within his cabinet being accused of mismanaging the commonwealth of the public. So Nigeria is we don't need to deceive ourselves. This nation is not well. Things are not going well. Things are not going as it's meant to be, and everything boils down to the leadership style that we operate. So if Nigeria will be strong economically, it depends on the readiness of political class to actually do the needful by putting the right mechanisms in place to fix the economy of this nation. Enough of rhetorics, enough of stories, and we see the image makers of the president coming out almost all the time to tell us the effort of the government. But as this translated to the well-being of an average citizen of this nation, you can't. A bag of rice with no, though I have never gotten anyone recently, perhaps maybe because Christmas is coming, I may get one. It's still far above 20,000 naira. Prices of food items very skyrocketing almost on daily basis. So things are falling, and all these are happening because our economy is poorly managed. So we only hope that we will come out of this as time goes by.
All right, Michael, thank you very much for giving your opinion or sharing your opinion on Opinion Sharers. Viewers, thank you so much. There has been no questions so far. There has only been one comment that I can see from here, from Abiodun Moipi. Said you are right. So thank you for watching Opinion Sharers today. We will be here. We will be back soon, perhaps with another guest to share other opinion on other issues that is happening in Nigeria. Thank you for following this page. Please do share and do subscribe to our page. We are on all the platforms such as YouTube, Opinion Sharers. We are on Instagram and Twitter. Thank you so much. Michael?
Thank you for having me, and thank you to our viewers out there.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.